Hey, good Monday morning to you. This is Tim, and I'm coming from Arlington, Massachusetts. And it's nice to wake up in this little small town that I spent many years in when I was a young man. And now I'm back here after all these years. And I'm a different man, I'm an older man. Um, I like this place. I like the quietness about it. When I was growing up, it was like, this is an old ladies' town, no liquor stores, all this stuff. But, that was then, and this is now. And today, it's kind of cloudy out. What is it? It's 52 degrees. Went out there this morning, sprayed down all the grass and all the flowers, got all the flowers growing, and I can really dig it. It looks really beautiful, and my girl Carol loves all that stuff. So that was like a perfect Mother's Day gift to her yesterday to make everything look so beautiful. And I hope all the moms out there and dads that have to be moms because they needed to step up all had a good day yesterday. I hope it was spent with friends and families and good memories were shared. And the new week is starting. Like I said, I'm kind of new to all this stuff, this YouTube thing. But I like to shed a little positivity in a world that sometimes can be negative, and not always. Listen, there's a lot of people I know that are walking around and they're feeling good, they're doing good in life, and if they're not doing great, they're just trying. But maybe this week, and if we're feeling, that negativity vibe inside us, maybe, just thinking about maybe everything will be all right instead of everything's going to be terrible. And that sets off a good mindset to go into not only the week, but just to go into the day. I have to do that sometimes. I've mentioned here on a couple of the other videos, and all my videos aren't about addiction and stuff like that, but I'm a former addict, and I lived in a very negative world for a long time. And it was like Groundhog Day every single day. And, it was tough. To be stuck in some like crazy circle that just keeps going round and same thing every day, and you want to get out, but this thing's got you by the throat and you can't. And I feel for people that are out there. I know people right now that are suffering, that are living on the streets of Boston or Harvard Square, and they're good people. They just went down a road, and it took them to places that they never thought that they could ever go to, or they do things that they never thought they were capable of doing. But you know what? This week, I'm looking forward to hopefully some good weather, and if not, we'll get by. It's May. Things. The weather in New England. I'm from New England, so the weather changes all the time. But I have a good positive outlook on the day. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't need to know what's going to happen. I can predict and I can think all these things. But a lot of the times when I do that, and I'm speaking for myself, either none of that stuff that I'm thinking either happens, or, a positive slant comes upon the day by me doing something in a a positive, or just, in a way that helps me. And you know what? When I'm living life and not just existing in life, things happen for me, and things can happen for you. And I'm not trying to predict what you do, or how you want to be and how you conduct yourself. I'm just here to say that, I walked. I ignored, and I didn't listen, and I thought it was all about me, and my way was the right way, my way was the only way, and got me in a lot of shit, got me in a lot of trouble, got me in a lot of put me in a lot of pain, and some good things came out of it too, because I have to rely on myself every day, because I have to make the decisions. If people suggest things to me, or I want to keep myself away from certain negative things in people, places, and things, it's me that has to make those choices. And it's quite a gift to be able to have a choice again in life. And what do I mean by that? Well, when I was hooked up into drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, that made the choices for me. That stuff, those substances, those liquids, they dictated of what I would do during the day, how I would feel if I want, everything was about that stuff. And I'm so glad that that's not the dictator of my life anymore. I can go to parties, I can go to concerts, I can go out to eat with my girl. I can, I can go into a place where people are drinking. I don't do it by myself. And it's not that I fear I'm going to drink. I just don't want to do that to myself. I don't like to go to the bar. People have invited me to come down, watch a Patriots game, watch a baseball game. And, what's the harm in that? Well, the thing about it is, I shouldn't have I shouldn't be in a place like that. If I'm an alcoholic, why am I in a friggin' place that's serving booze all the time by myself with other people that are drinking? That's just a recipe for the disaster. I don't really want to do that. Why would I want to sit there? Well, why wouldn't I want to sit there? Well, the reason is because when I go there, I take the smell of that place back with me. I walk into the bathroom and I see 6 sets of feet in there doing lines off the table. I smell that smoke and that possibly pot smoke that's outside, that's being blown back in the door from people stepping outside. And I just don't need to do that to myself. That's my choice. It's not because I don't want to go down the pub and hang with a couple of guys, or that these people are bad people. They're not. They do what they want. I just choose not to do that stuff no more. And you know what? The people that don't understand have slowly faded out of my life. That's just the bottom line of it, And it's like I said, if I seen them on the street, it'd be like, "Hey, how you doing?" But, people don't want to hang around the sober guy if you drink it, and vice versa. I can't be sitting around people that are drinking or doing drugs all day and think that that's a good time, because it's just not. It's not for me. At one time it was, but it's not. I don't even know if it ever really was. It was just I got in a habit, and then I got into addictive habits, and then it just took me way over the edge. So, today is a new day. The slate is clean. It's Monday. Yeah, Mondays, we say Mondays, I hate Mondays and all this stuff. Well, for me, I didn't party over the weekend. I didn't overextend myself. I had a blast. We had a lot of stuff to do, and we got it all done, and then we had our downtime to just chill, watch a movie, eat dinner, and hang out, meet friends, go out for a nice dinner with some friends the other night. But I'm not waking up this morning shaking, my head splitting, I'm fiending for something. And that's why Mondays really ain't that bad to me. I remember I used to hear the birds that are out there now. You probably can't hear them because I live on a street that's pretty busy. But they're out there, and I used to go crazy. Those birds were like, it's like the Three Stooges when those birds in the opening credits are all going crazy, and it used to drive me nuts. And but now, I'm out there feeding them. I leave them food. I give them those little friggin' pads there that are in the cage, and they come up and eat on them. And I love the nature that's around my house. We had ducks in here yesterday. Last year we had a turkey that my little granddaughter named, the hell did she name him? I can't even remember what she named him. I think Bob or something. But, he came every other day. I'd feed him some peanuts and stuff, and he hung around till the end of the spring, and then one day he just disappeared. And it's so great. And I never dreamed this big. I really didn't. And to say that is because, when I was in that addictive behavior, I was willing and settling less to just stay in this apartment building that I lived in that was really kind of lousy, cockroaches, mice. It was horrible, and I tried to deck it up as good as I can, but you can paint a smiley face on anything, but underneath it's what it's all about. And now I'm living up here. I live on a nice pond. I got a beautiful woman. My son is back in my life after being estranged for a little while. And I could go on and on and on, but I don't have to, because I don't have to sit here and try to prove, you know, that I am content with my life or that I'm happy. I just live it and I do the best I can. So I'm trying to strangle myself here with this thing, and things are working. Carol had cancer, my girl, and we spent 8 months really in changing our whole lives because of it. I got cancer here in my face, melanoma, from sitting in the sun my whole life. Now I got to take care of myself and not be sitting out there with no sunblock and burning my face. I'm an older guy now. And there's just certain precautions that if you want to hang around for a while, it's unfortunate, man. I went to my class reunion a few years ago, and since that class reunion, there's been about 7 or 8 people that have died. And not from overdoses, just from heart attacks, from diabetes, from smoking their whole lives, some from drinking, because when you drink for many years like we did, we started this stuff when we were kids, it takes a toll on your body. And these guys are in my age, guys and ladies, and they just, every few months I hear another one went down, another one went down. And listen, that stuff can happen. Like Bill Burr did a whole comedy special on it. It's like the dead years from 55 to 65. And it's like, those years were like, we were still like considered young. And now people, we grew up in an age where everything was like more and more and more. And we didn't slow down. And some people went one way, some people got families, some people got jobs, some people went to jail and still are in jail and never get the hell out. And when they do, they go right back in. It's like anything. And I kind of played the game with all of that. I had successes, I had failures, I had wonderful times, and I had terrible times. And the thing about it is that is life. And, recovery, they look at recovery as like some separate thing. Like it's life and then recovery. No, recovery and life are the same thing. If you live in the using world and you live in that sort of life, then that's your life. When you're in recovery, that's your life. And you don't have to walk around with an AA or NA sticker on you and proclaim and have a book and all this stuff. All you got to do is to just be an example. I've become an example to my kid, a positive example to my son, a positive example to my family, a positive example to my friends, and to even strangers that come up to me, and if they hear me speak or if they hear me at a meeting or whatever, they'll come up. And I never am too busy to give somebody time, because somebody gave me time and gave it to me so freely. They didn't ask for anything back. Where do you get that? Every time we're in a world where, if I do for you, you owe me. And that ain't always the case, but that's the case a lot of times. You don't owe me nothing. You owe yourself a better life. If you're living a tough existence and things aren't going the way that you thought it would be, and you're kind of questioning everything, then it's never too late to start over. So you know what? I'm going to get out of here. It's 7:51. I got to get on my way and start making my day a worthwhile one. I appreciate you all listening. If you could, like and subscribe to my channel. I post a whole bunch of different things. Like I said, I'm new to this. I'm a music guy. I'm a guitarist. I'm a writer. I'm a man in recovery. There's so many different. I'm a man above the world, and most of all, I'm just an ordinary guy living an ordinary life. But it works for me, and that is the biggest blessing I could have ever asked for. So I wish you all a great day in whatever you do, whether you're working, whether you're freaking out, hanging out, walking by the pond, sitting down, having a picnic with your girl, whatever the case may be. I hope you have a great day. And please, take care of yourselves and give back to this world a little bit, because this world needs you. Take care and be well.